Hi, and welcome to Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help you admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse, because your feelings do matter. Here is your host, Dr. and Evangelist K.L. Rich.
Hi, and welcome to today's podcast of Narc Abuse No More. I pray that you are having a blessed and wonderful week so far, stress-free, narcissistic-free, abuse-free week so far, and that the remainder of this week will continue to be so as well. But if not, we're going to be talking about a few things today. Again, my name is Dr. K.L. Rich for Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help you admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse, because your feelings do matter. Yes, they do. But before we go on with today's podcast, I would like to invite you to visit us on our website at www.narcabusenomore.org. Again, that website address is www.narcabusenomore.org. And on our website, you'll find valuable information regarding narcissism, relationships, and if you have missed any of these podcasts, all you have to do is go directly to our website and listen to us from there. Now, just to let you know, we are on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Central, and that is on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes, Castbox, and Deezer. We're also on Amazon, Audible, Rumble, Brighteon, and the Tube. That's why we're on YouTube. So you have a variety of different platforms that you can listen to us from. But if all else fails, all you have to do is go directly to our website at www.narcabusenomore.org. Also, just to let you know, in January, we will be starting a new podcast in addition to this one. It's going to be called Veterans in Christ. Veterans in Christ. And basically, we're going to be talking about the word, of course, but we're also going to give you information regarding different things as it pertains to veterans or active duty. We're going to be talking about disability benefits, what you're entitled to, transitioning out of active duty into the civilian status. We're going to be talking about CNP exams, VSOs, veteran service officers, which ones are the best to go to. We're going to be talking about suicide prevention, PTSD, other mental health illnesses that you deal with, how to file for disability compensation, burial, GI Bill. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things on the new podcast. Now, that will be aired every Tuesday and every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central. Again, it will be on the same platforms that you listen to this, but it will be called Veterans in Christ, and you will be able to listen to it at the time of your choice. So I'm excited about getting that started. And just to give you a sample of the military veterans podcast, some things you're going to be hearing, here you go.
No limit to the limit, I thought I told ya. No limit to the limit, I thought I told ya. You don't wanna go to war with a soldier. You don't wanna go to war with a soldier. Ooh, I wanna slap somebody. Ooh, I wanna slap somebody. No limit to the limit, I thought I told ya. No limit to the limit, I thought I told ya. You don't wanna go to war with a soldier. You don't wanna go to war with a soldier. Ooh, I wanna hurt somebody. Ooh, I wanna hurt somebody. Ooh, I wanna leave them bloody. Ooh, I wanna leave them bloody. No limit to the limit, I thought I told ya. No limit to the limit, I thought I told ya. You don't wanna go to war with a soldier. You don't wanna go to war with a soldier. Ooh, I wanna kill somebody. Ooh, I wanna kill somebody. Ooh, I wanna bury them.
And that is a sample of what you will be hearing on the podcast. Now, I just want to let you all know, I love this His name is Jonathan Michael Fleming, and you can catch his cadences on YouTube. Jonathan Michael Fleming. So you can go on there, and if you want to listen to more of his cadences, but we'll be playing a lot of that on the new podcast. But anyway, today, what are we talking about today? I pray that you all be safe. There's a lot of things that's going on in the world today, and please be safe. Know your surroundings. We don't want to operate in fear, and the Bible tells us that God didn't give us the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. So we don't want to operate in fear, but we are to be, as the Bible says, wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. So you always want to be careful and be alert of your surroundings. All right. What are we talking about today? We are talking about signs of insecurity. 13 signs of insecurity. As always, I'd love to give you a website where you get this valuable information. www.lutz, that's Luze.com. www.lutz, I'm not sure how they pronounce it, .com. And actually, the title of the article is 13 Signs of Insecure Women, but this is for anybody, okay? Anybody that's insecure. One of the things that is so important to understand when you're dealing with narcissistic abuse is a lot of times the ones who are doing the abusing they're insecure, and oftentimes the one that's the recipient of the abuse is insecure. Okay, because when you are a secure individual, you don't have to feel like you have to manipulate, dominate, control, and devalue, degrade anybody else. Okay, that's signs of insecurity. So you're insecure within yourself, and then oftentimes the person who is the recipient of the abuse is also insecure as well. So we want to just take that magnet of insecurity off of you, regardless of which side of the spectrum you're on, and help you to understand that you do not have to be insecure. Whatever God has called for you to do, or whoever He's made you to be, that's who you are to be. We can look at other people and say, you know what, I admire that particular person, or there's some things that they do that I would like to maybe model off after, but we can't be someone else. Okay, for example, when I first started this, the podcast, it was first my ministry podcast, It Is Finished, and then I started the narcissistic abuse a few years after that. But when I first started podcasting, I looked at other people and saw how they did their podcast, or the broadcast, should I say. It was more so the broadcast. And I looked at, I got tips on how they would do things. And that's good, because we have to learn from somebody, all right? But the thing is, I had to make it my own. This podcast may be for some people, that's fine. It may not be for others, that's fine. You have to do you. You have to do what works for you. So when I come to you all and I bring these podcasts, I'm not trying to be somebody else. I have to be who I am. It may be good for some people, it may not. I pray that you all like it, enjoy it, and have learned a lot, for those who have been following me over the years, or if you're just the first time. But the thing is that I have to be me. You learn from others, okay? When I've been in school, I've learned from my teachers, but at the end of the day, I have to take that knowledge of what I learned in order to make it into my own, okay? So this is what is so important for people to understand, is we can't be somebody else. You can mimic them, you can dress like them, you can even try to look like them, but you're still going to be you. So when you're dealing with insecure people, they're not confident within themselves. They're very insecure. You have people that may have tons of degrees or no degrees, or they may have tons of friends or no friends, but at the end of the day, they're insecure. And one thing that will destroy a relationship is insecurity. When you're talking about abuse, those that are abusers, you will find at the root of it is some type of insecurity, oftentimes insecurity. So we want to talk about that 13 signs that shows that you're insecure. Number one, defensive. One of the signs of an insecure person is taking everything as a criticism. Any little thing you say will have this person just reacting and going off. Not that they're taking time to think about it. Not you may not be criticizing the person or whatever case may be. And there's times when constructive criticism is a good thing. Okay, when you're dealing with a narcissist, it's destructive. When you're dealing with someone who really cares and appreciates you, is constructive. So, for example, I love to paint. I love to sketch, but I'm still in the learning process. So if someone gives me some tips, that's constructive criticism. Now, if someone trying to tear you down, oh, you'll never make it, oh, you'll never be any good, or whatever the case may be, that's destructive. So you have to know the difference between constructive, which is to build you up, and destructive, which is to tear you down. They're two separate things. But when you're dealing with someone that's insecure, they will take everything and make it destructive, and so therefore that's a telltale sign that they are insecure. They will make a mountain out of a mole. So therefore you can't tell them anything, because they will always take it and take it for the worst. And that's a sign of insecurity. So Miss Defensive or Mr. Defensive, that's a sign of insecurity. Number two, you have this person that you would consider a control freak. Okay, so they are insecure because they will threaten you, and they will try to interfere with your plans. They will try to control and manipulate situations or relationships. They're not securing themselves to allow you to decide for yourself. So therefore, they want to take control of the situation. If they can't control the narrative, if they can't control the situation, then they actually will be in anger. A lot of times you will see that narcissistic rage that may come out of them. You can't control everything. You can't control everybody. You can't control what someone thinks. You can't control what someone says. You can't control how someone acts. We're all responsible for what we do. However, when you're dealing with someone that's insecure, they try to manipulate everything. They try to control. They're like this chess master that's trying to control the pieces on the board. They want to control every little aspect of your life, which shows that they are very insecure. They want to be the only thing in your life. And so therefore, when you find that you're dealing with the insecure person, they will talk about the people in your life. They will talk about the friends or the job or whatever your goals or your dreams. They will try to control you by even controlling the people or the things or your plans or your dreams or your ambitions. This is someone that is insecure. If you're trapped in this cycle where this person is demeaning you or whatever, you're dealing with the insecure person. And let me just say this: if you're dating someone and you find that they're very insecure, you better think about before you actually move further into that relationship, because when you're dealing with insecure people, it will cause trauma and drama within that relationship. Number three, they're jealous. Now this is someone that takes it overboard. All right, when you're dealing with the insecure person, they're jealous of everything. They're jealous of the people around you. They're jealous if you are a man and you just are speaking to a woman. You're not even flirting with her, but you're just speaking to her. That person that you're dating and she's insecure, she will be jealous just because you said hello. She will be jealous because someone shows you some kindness. That he will be jealous because someone just maybe have given you a compliment. When you're dealing with insecure people, they are jealous individuals. So therefore, they will use manipulation. They will use whatever kind of tools that they can to lower your self-esteem, to lower your self-worth. And what it is they're insecure themselves. So therefore, they're jealous of everyone around them. And let me just say this: be careful when you're dealing with these type of people, because They may act as if they're your friend, but they're not. When you're dealing with insecure people, they may even do acts of kindness, but they're vipers behind closed doors. Know your enemy. It's times I know people are a viper, but you know what? I don't expose my hand. You just know who they are and watch them because they will bite you in the back. Number 4, you have the belittler, the belittler. So insecure people love to belittle and bully other people. They do this to try to make themselves feel good, but really they do not feel good about themselves. When you are a secure individual, you don't have to go out of your way to try to make someone else look bad or feel bad because you're confident within yourself. Now, if you see that you're this type of person, then you need to talk to somebody. You need to recognize, okay, well, this is who I am. This is not who I want to be, and therefore try to make sure that you get the help that you need so that you will not be this type of individual who is jealous of anyone. And if you are in a relationship and you haven't married this person, you see that this person have tendencies, this is a sign to run, run, because you will wind up being in a marriage that is a lot of turmoil if you are with an insecure individual. Everything will be they will make you second guess yourself. Everything will be an argument. You will find yourself really walking on eggshells around this person because you'll never know what kind of bag they're going to come out of on any given day. All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in just a moment.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, oh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe the only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Ooh, oh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You'll have every failure, God. You'll have every victory. Ooh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short, when I don't belong. Oh, you say I'm yours, and I believe. Oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe. Oh, I believe. Yes, I believe what you say of me. I believe.
You Say, and that is by Lauren Daigle. You have to believe in yourself. All right, so we're still talking about insecure people, and one of the reasons people get into bad relationships is because of insecurity. And if you have an insecure magnet on your face, then you're going to be drawn likely to those type of toxic relationships. Number 5. The insecure people have a need for reinforcement and validation. They aren't comfortable in their own skin, so they belittle people because they're not comfortable within themselves. So the insecure person always needs someone else's approval. They always need someone else's support. They need you to feel bad in order for them to feel better about themselves. They judge other people, which makes them feel as if they're superior because actually they do not feel good about themselves. So judging others create their own sense of self-worth, which is no self-worth at all. They need a constant supply of flattery, which makes them tend to be clingy to that individual. And let me just say this, you have to feel good within yourself, because the thing is, no matter how many people tell you, oh, you're this, you're that, if you don't see it, if you don't feel it, then guess what? It's going to roll off like Rain-X with water. Okay, you know that Rain-X stuff that you buy in the store for your windows, and you put it on there, and then the water, when it rains, it doesn't cling to the window, it just rolls on off. Well, that's what happens if you don't validate, have that within yourself. Then guess what? No matter how many people tell you you're this, you're that, or whatever, you're looking for all this supply, you're still going to be lacking because you don't feel it within yourself. Insecure people have to make others feel bad. But when you're secure within yourself, then you're congratulating other people. You don't have to be jealous. You don't have to be envious. You'll say, you know what, well done. Or you congratulate other people and want other people to succeed as well. Number 6. Casting the spell of insecurity and guilty shame. This is one of the things that when it comes to insecure people, they want to make you feel guilty about doing things outside of the relationship. They want to make you feel bad for hanging out with your friends, hanging out with your family, going places without them. And this is, when you're in a relationship with someone, there's going to be times, of course, when you're doing things together, but then when you're dealing with someone that's insecure, they don't want you to ever do anything without them, or they're going to try to guilt you. They look for acceptance outside the relationship, and they don't understand that when they do that, then you're actually pushing that person away. So when you're dealing with someone that's insecure, narcissists, they navigate toward that because they can see that insecure mode on you, or they try to get people that are insecure or to make them feel better so that they can get that supply that they want. Number 7. When you're dealing with an insecure person, they have grudges, okay? The insecure person will do their best to hold on to grudges. That's their way of having control. This will change your behavior and make you feel as if you're walking on broken glass or on eggshells. There's the tiniest thing will set them off. They're always holding grudges. When you're dealing with insecure people, they want something to hold on to, and so therefore they're going to always hold on to a grudge. Number 8, they are, I'm going to say, drama queens or drama kings. They overreact. The insecure person, they will make you feel like an idiot, guilty, or hold a grudge, okay? They overreact to things. It could be just a little minor thing, and they take it and blow it way out of proportion. And then they will make you feel guilty because you mentioned it and say, well, you know what, this is not a big deal. And they will try their best to guilt you. This is why it's so important to understand when you're dealing with mental health issues, because those that are dealing with issues, they will try to make them become your issues and make themselves seem as if they're the same one, when in actuality, what they're doing to you is anything but normal. And unless you understand what you're dealing with, it will cause you to feel like something is wrong with you when it's actually that individual. Number 9, the blame game. Insecure people, of course, they don't want to recognize their own flaws or whatever. So no matter what, they will never acknowledge their flaws, their weaknesses, but try to blame it on someone else, point the finger to someone else. And we often talk about narcissists do this, never take responsibility for their own actions. They don't have confidence to admit that, hey, I got some issues, or I messed up, or whatever case may be. So then they would try to again make their issues your issues by deflecting it, not taking responsibility or acknowledging that they are the ones that's indeed having some issues. Again, when you are a secure person, you don't mind saying, yeah, I got issue, I need to work on that. But when you're dealing with insecurity, they never want to take responsibility. Number 10, there's a lack of honesty in that relationship, a lack of honest talk. In time, a relationship will show you your flaws that need to be addressed. When conflict arises, insecure person will not open the dialogue for serious discussion about the relationship. Why? Because they don't want you to point out their flaws. They don't want you to say, well, you know what, you're doing this or you're doing that, or whatever the case may be. They look at it at their weakness and constructive criticism as something that is basically irrelevant when it comes to them. Now, they'll point out everything about you, but they will never look at themselves and say, you know what, I do need to work on some things. And this is, when you're dealing with a mature relationship, a healthy relationship, you're going to say, you know what, there's things that I need to work on, because there are no perfect relationships. But that's when you're dealing with someone that's healthy. I'm talking about mentally healthy. But when you're dealing with someone that's insecure, then they will always pass the buck and make it seem as if it's someone else or if it's you, but they will never look at themselves. Therefore, when you're dealing with these type of insecure individuals, you have to recognize that it's not you, it's them, it's their insecurities. It's not your insecurity, it's their insecurity. However, because they will not look at themselves and take responsibility for whatever it is, their insecurities, or acknowledge it, then you have to be the one to say, you know what, I am not going to be the emotional punching bag. I am not going to allow that person to diminish my self-esteem just because they don't have any. All right, we're going to take another quick break and we'll be back in just a moment.
answer. If you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away, and then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. It's a long road when you face the world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you search within yourself, and the emptiness you bear will disappear. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. Dreams are hard to follow, but don't let anyone tear them away. Just hold on, there will be tomorrow, and in time you'll find the way. And a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in that a hero lies
And that is by Mariah Carey, Hero. A hero lies in you. And you can only see that if you are a secure individual, where you say, you know what, God made me special. He made me unique. I don't have to compare myself to anybody else. I don't have to put down other people because of my own insecurities. But when you are dealing with someone that's insecure, then guess what? That's exactly what they will do. Number 11, an insecure person welcomes failures, and this is not in the good sense. This is in the sense of loving to watch other people fail. Now, when you welcoming failure for us, you know what, I didn't do so well on that, but guess what? I'm going to try again. We're not talking about that type of individual that overcomes, okay? Because anyone who has been a success has also failed. We're not talking about that individual who kept trying, and then allow anything anything to stop them. No, we're talking about the person who is in the back corner laughing at someone else's failure, okay? They may not be doing it on the outside, but insecure people, they won't support your dreams. They won't support your goals. They won't support your ambitions because they have a fear that you're going to surpass them or do better than they have. And so therefore they will talk negative. It's the saying that misery loves company. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want you to have the spotlight, because after all, they're insecure. And so therefore, if whenever you succeed, you will see this person who is silently not congratulating you or wanting your success. Or it may be the opposite. They may be your biggest cheerleader, but then underneath the scenes, they're jealous and envious of you. See, you can't always look at what someone says on the outside, because it's like that song says, smiling faces tell lies, okay? Backstabbers, all right? So you have to be very careful when you're dealing with these type of individuals, when you know that they're insecure and they're not wanting you to succeed. And the thing is that if you recognize this within yourself, pray about it and ask God to help you. Lord, I don't want this jealous demon. I don't want this insecure demon. I don't want to be this type of individual, and He will help you. Number 12. This is the type of person who needs you to want to need her, okay? So they have to feel needed. And it's okay to want to be needed, or to hear someone say that, they need you in their life. But at the same time, this is going beyond the norm, okay? This person has to feel like if you're secure, you know that you don't have to have another person. So when you're a secure individual, you're saying, you know what, whether they want me or not, I'm going to be okay. But when you are dealing with someone that's insecure, they want you to feel bad. They want you to feel weak. They want you to feel like that you can't live without them. They're not the type of person that would normally tell you, oh, well, you know what, if something happened to me, move on with your life and go. No, they want you to feel like, oh, you gotta have a shrine to them. If something happens to them, okay, they like to demand things from you. They want to control you. They want to manipulate you. This is signs that they are insecure, okay? They don't want you to feel as if you can do anything without them, and that's their own insecurity. It's unhealthy. It's sickening. It's not. This is not the ingredients that you want for a relationship, because it's not going to be a good relationship if you're involved with someone who has these type of insecurities. And let me just say this: now, when this insecurity thing that we're talking about today is going to the extreme. Okay, now you might have someone that may be a little insecure about certain things, but we're talking about people that have taken it to the max, where everything about them is insecure, and so therefore they throw their insecurities on other people. Number 13, last but not least. This person will drop their life to be the only one in your life. So when you're dealing with the insecure person, they will make you be their everything. Now, in a healthy relationship, you have you will have a happy independence from them, and then when you're together, you're going to be happy. So therefore, if this person has friends, okay, they had friends before you, they'll have friends after you. Now, when you get married, the dynamics of things kind of change a little bit. But because this person you're married to, so you're not going to be hanging out with your buddies all the time, or whatever the case may be, because you're married, and then you all have children, or whatever the case may be. So you might wind up doing, you will normally wind up doing more things with your spouse than anyone else, which is normal in a healthy relationship if you're married. But when you're dealing with insecure people, they don't want you to ever have that independence. You actually lose yourself in this person. Now, when you are with someone that's healthy, then the two of you become one when you marry in the eyes of God. But when you're dealing with the insecure person, it's all about they want you to feel as if you would die without them. Okay, so they want to be the only one in your life. Now, we're not talking about cheating and all that. They don't want to have you to have your separate or your individualism when it comes to them. So therefore, they almost immediately dive into this relationship where you're just everything, and that's not healthy. A lot of times you have movies that portray this. I'm going to say, well, I'm trying to think of a movie. Back in the day, I used to watch these kind of movies. Twilight is the Twilight series. And this was a vampire series. I don't watch this kind of stuff no more, but back in the day, I can't remember her name, but in the first movie, the relationship was like this guy couldn't live without this girl, and she was so mesmerized by this guy, and it was like everything, even, I think a couple of episodes, cause they did a series, I think it was about 3 or 4, but anyway, it was like, he couldn't breathe or she couldn't breathe without this individual. That's not healthy. Okay. I know they make this like, oh, this is the best thing in the relationship, but actually that's not healthy. Okay. That's not a healthy relationship. The only person that we should feel like we can't breathe without is God. Okay. Because he's the one that's given us our air. He's the one that created us. He's the one that made us into who we are. However, anybody else, all right? So you have to have that healthy balance within that relationship. And when you don't have that healthy balance, then you will be unbalanced in the relationship. So basically, if you're dating someone that's very insecure, you need to think about where that relationship will be a few years from the time that you would marry that individual. If that person is insecure and they're very insecure, is probably going to cause you all to have some problems down the road. And I always recommend that if you're dating someone, before you date them, you need to go to premarital counseling. I mean, before you marry them, you need to go to premarital counseling. Because when you're dealing with if you go to a good premarital counselor, they're going to talk about all those issues, because you need to talk about these issues before you say I do. Many people have married insecure people and they wind up being miserable because of the insecurities of that particular individual. And that person will make it feel like it's normal, and you're the one that's taking things out of proportion when it's actually their insecurities that's causing problems within the relationship. You can be the most faithful person, but if you have an insecure spouse, that person will make you feel like you're cheating just by looking at someone, just by talking to someone, just by doing something kind. You might open the door for a person and they would say, oh, you're cheating, oh, you want them, oh, and this and that. And so it's so important to get those issues resolved. If you know that you're this type of individual, don't get into a relationship until you get those issues resolved. Talk to someone, work on those things, find out why you feel insecure, and allow that counselor to help you to move forward. As always, I love to say, quote the psalmist, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and I know that full well, and you have to know that full well. All right, we are up out of here. I pray that today's podcast has been a blessing to you and that you will know your feelings do matter. Until next time.
We want to thank you for taking the time to join us today on Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help you admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse, because your feelings do matter. Until next time.